Good afternoon to you. Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, here with your last Hurricane Pro and HD video blog for the 2013 hurricane season, which ends in about 5 days. November 30th, the official end of the hurricane season for the Atlantic Basin. This year we ended up with 13 named storms, 2 of which became hurricanes. None of those hurricanes made it to Category 3 or higher, what we call major hurricanes. In fact, neither of the 2 made it beyond Category 1. So by almost every measurement, from the ACE index to the amount of activity overall to impact and kind of all points in between, it was one of the least active hurricane seasons, if not the least active, of the last 30 years. The hows and whys of why that took place, maybe a story for another day. A lot of it has to do with very dry air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, to sort of give you the Cliff Notes version. Very stable air in place that wasn't predicted to be there, and but other factors such as the no development of an El Nino, that was well forecasted, or forecasted, I don't think is really a word. The absence of El Nino was well forecast. The above normal sea surface temperatures in most of the Atlantic Basin was also very well forecast, and those verified. But this dry mid-level air, the presence of pretty large Saharan air layer outbreaks from Africa, a lot of those things came together to make it sort of an exceptionally slow hurricane season. How are the next few days going to end? Well, pretty quiet, nothing in the tropics down here to worry about. However, pretty decent storm system taking shape here in the northwest Gulf as low pressure develops. Non-tropical in nature, there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere, a lot of cold air in place now over the lower 48. So this storm system going to affect a lot of people from the I-10 corridor up I-95 here eventually, and millions of people are going to have possible travel nightmares in some situations. Atlanta Hartsfield up to Washington Dulles, the Logan Airport in Boston maybe with heavy rain, New York LaGuardia, JFK, even the regional airports along I-10 corridor down here maybe having some problems with heavy rain, low visibilities, you name it. Just not a good week for travel, and unfortunately this storm system happening during Thanksgiving week. So do keep aware and on top of what's going on. One great resource is your tax dollar paid National Weather Service. Use it. Weather.gov. You can go in, put in your zip code. I'll put mine 28409, Southeast North Carolina. And what you get as a return is a listing of your local weather service information. And one of the things that I want to point out, this is very useful during hurricane season when there's a hurricane threat, also useful during the off season for winter and spring weather conditions when things turn foul. You got your hazardous weather outlook conditions right here. Anything in red like that, click on it and read it, and it'll tell you what you need to know about the situation. And right now there's not much expected in Southeast North Carolina, but this will probably change. And if we go back to the weather.gov homepage and we click on the western parts of North Carolina here, you get an idea. There's an ice storm warning, winter freezing rain advisory. You can go and click on some of these counties in here, and they will again give you more information. You can now read the in-depth info for who's going to be impacted and when. So remember that. Weather.gov, a great resource for all 48 lower 48 states plus Alaska and Hawaii. Everything's covered for the 50 United States. A great resource. You've paid for it with your tax dollars. You might as well use it. And that'll get you through the next 6 months, 7 months really, I guess, if you look at November as being pretty quiet as it was. But December through May, the next 6 months, going to be nice and quiet from the tropics. Obviously, the hurricane season ending in 5 days. And then we'll be back next June to see what happens in 2014. Predictions aside, you just never know. As I say, it only takes one. We got away with really having no impacts this year except for Alberto in terms of the United States. And that was in the Florida area, the northeast part of the Gulf of Mexico in early June. But no hurricanes impacting the United States. Nothing in Florida for the last 8 years at all. No hurricanes at all in Florida for 8+ years. Will next year be the time that time runs out? We'll have to wait and see about that. have a great off season, a great winter, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Enjoy it. Be safe with your friends, family, and try to relax and hopefully take some vacation time during these holiday periods, and don't let it get to you too much with the stress of how that can be. We all know how that can go. And then we'll be back next year to talk about the hurricane season when it arrives again. So thanks for watching all the video blogs this hurricane season. Again, I am Mark Sudduth for HurricaneTrack.com and, of course, Hurricane Pro in HD. It has once again been an honor and a privilege to produce these informative blogs for you. I'll talk to you again in 2014.